First, of course, I would like to introduce Summer Stephan, our district attorney. I really appreciate you being here, so please take it away.
Thank you so much. Okay. Well, good morning, everybody, and thank you, Ben. As you probably know, Ben is the director of the Hillcrest Business Association, and he made an unusual request, and that's why we're here today. Every day we fight crime, we fight hate, but sometimes the community doesn't get to what is the end of the story. And today we're here to tell you the good end of a terrible story. And so it's very exciting for me as DA to give you this information. So I'm Summer Stephan, San Diego County's district attorney. And late last year, there were many attacks on the LGBTQ community and on the Hillcrest area. The police department and our district attorney's hate crimes division came together to fight this, but we could only do it with the help of the community. Our office has a specialized unit that fights hate crimes and tracks trends to make sure that we can also prevent. So late last year, 3 individuals with hate in their heart came here and they defaced many parts of the Hillcrest business community. They had swastikas and terrible slurs that hurt the community and harm the very spirit and dignity of everyone who lives here. These hateful acts were not going to go without an answer. The police department, with Chief Wall and his incredible team, jumped into action. They used every type of method in order to get to who the perpetrators were. They worked with our office, with Abby Dillon, our lead prosecutor in hate crimes, and we were able to identify 2 individuals that had committed these acts. We brought a prosecution that was successful, that was backed by evidence, and this prosecution resulted in a plea and a conviction for destroying property with a hate intent. This is a misdemeanor offense, but in this case, it carried the ability to bring full restitution for the damage that was done. The full restitution was in the amount of $2,477 with an additional $200 to the restaurants that were involved. They were also placed on probation, and maybe most important, they were made to take education classes to understand about the dignity of all people and understand this amazing community, the LGBTQ community, and what hate does to people and to communities. They were also ordered to stay away from this region and placed on probation. This outcome was an appropriate outcome. It was an outcome that was reached after consultation with the victims and with their understanding and acceptance that this was a just result, and a result that was also balanced by the idea of their youth and the potential ability to rehabilitate them and have them be members of the community that do not hate. I want to especially thank Deputy District Attorney Abby Dillon, who just, by the way, received a statewide award for fighting hate. She personally delivered the restitution check in that amount to the victims in this community who are not victims. They are survivors, they are resilient, and the proof of that is almost overnight. Volunteers showed up to clean up the terrible slurs and the hate language that was there. I just want to recognize this quick, compassionate activity by the community to restore hope and healing and to say no to hate. I'm very proud of these transformative efforts that not only address hate through prosecution, but also through prevention and partnership with the community. We stand against hate. and we stand with Hillcrest and the LGBTQ community. We think this case shows that something positive was created out of something that was hateful and fearful. Hate has no place in San Diego. As you may know, we are one of the leading organizations, and recently we were called upon to conduct a statewide training on hate crimes. Being Greek Armenian, you can talk through a storm. We were called upon to do a statewide training, and this was one of those great examples in that training. I want to turn it over back to Ben, and you're going to hear from the police department that really invested so much work into this case. I think sometimes people ask, why put so much effort into property damage? Because it's not property damage. Hate crimes have a ripple effect, whether it's against a person or against property. The feeling of fear, of disrespect, of shame is something that ripples through communities. And this is why we invest so much effort to fight hate every single day. And the data and the statistics are showing that that's working. After that big push last year, we're now seeing a huge reduction this year in crimes committed against this community. Holding people accountable matters, and we're going to continue to do it with everything we've got. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, Summer Stephan. That was wonderful remarks. I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful friends at the police department. They worked hand in hand with the community to bring this to resolution. So I want to introduce Captain Matt Dobbs, our friend at the police department. Please come along.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. As you said, my name is Matt Dobbs, and I have the honor of being the commanding officer for the San Diego Police Department's Western Division. Let me start by saying how grateful I am to live and work in a county where we have a DA like Summer Stephan. She's always been a very staunch advocate for victims and a great partner for law enforcement throughout the county, so thank you. I'd also like to recognize Abby Dillon. She worked hand in hand with our investigators on this case, and with a lot of her hard work, it got this case over the finish line to where we are here today. I think we've seen with these incidents, as well as other incidents around the country and throughout the world, the horrific impact that hate has in our society. I know that some recent events in the nation and some rhetoric have left some in this community to feel that they've been erased, or they've been disenfranchised, but we're all part of a greater community. And for those that may feel that way, I want them to know that the San Diego Police Department sees them, we hear them, but most importantly, we are here for them. The San Diego Police Department is committed to engaging with our community and partnering with them to address crime, so we simply cannot do it ourselves. We've long been recognized as some of the national leaders in community-oriented policing, and that's because of the relationships that we have with our communities. It's bad enough when a person is a victim of a crime, but hate crimes victimize an entire community, and will not be tolerated here. We will aggressively investigate acts of hate, and we will do everything in our power to bring those people to justice. And I know the DA and her staff will be right there to assist us along the way. Chief Wall feels very strongly about this as well. He has established a dedicated hate crimes unit within the police department to address acts just like this. I'll let Abby discuss the details of the cases as she sees fit. It was a lot of her hard work that I would like her to get credit for. But I just want people to know when these crimes were brought to our attention, we initiated a robust investigative response. We sent investigators out to the scene to interview victims, interview witnesses, and collect evidence, including data from the smart streetlight cameras and license plate readers. And I can tell you with all confidence as we stand here today, were it not for the data from those technologies, we wouldn't be having this press conference. San Diego Police Department's committed to ensuring that all people feel safe as they go about their daily lives. We will aggressively pursue those who want to victimize people in our community, especially those who want to commit acts of hate. I would like to appreciate the leadership of Chief Scott Wall for prioritizing the investigation of hate crimes. I recognize the partnership with the District Attorney's Office in pursuing these things, and as well as the support from the Mayor and the City Council for approving the technologies that we need to effectively do our jobs. And finally, I just want to say to everyone in the community, we are your police department, and we will always be here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you for that. I love good news stories. I love to talk about good things going on. There's always crazy stuff going on out there in the world, and this community has certainly been under attack in a big picture way, but as this case shows, in a small picture way. Graffiti tags, pellet guns, and all sorts of things like that have really brought us a level of fear. But the way that the community responds to that is by showing up, participating, getting involved. And so what I would like to do is propose that these restitution funds be set aside as a special fund for volunteer efforts in the community. The restitution funds that have been set aside for this can go a long way to leverage volunteerism. And as was pointed out earlier, these tags were hurtful and hateful, but they were also gone. They were removed less than 24 hours after they were put up by dedicated community volunteers, some of whom are here today. So I am very excited to be able to set aside these funds, recommend these funds be used for volunteer activities. I am happy to introduce one of our volunteer extraordinaires to talk about a volunteer activity event that's coming up this weekend. And my hope is that we'll be able to support that event. I want to introduce Ricky. Come on up, Ricky. Tell us about what's going on. How are you going to use these funds?
I love it. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rick Cervantes, Cervantes. And 20 years ago, I moved to Hillcrest, San Diego, because my own blood family didn't accept who I was. It was in this community where I found my rainbow community, my rainbow family, and since then, I made it a goal to continue to give back to my community. I decided to pay it forward 7 years ago when I created the Instagram account at Hillcrest San Diego, which features happenings in the neighborhood, memes, pop culture, anything and everything related to Hillcrest and San Diego. Last year, I'm happy to report, we had over 20 million viewers come to the account, and just recently, we surpassed 32,000 followers. Now, the beautiful part is that, yes, it's a growing online digital community, but that community is showing up, like Ben said. My best friend Benny and I created two great programs that continue to uplift Hillcrest. One is the Hillcrest Honors, which is an awards program that uplifts everything and anything fabulous that is Hillcrest, as Ben would say. And second is our Cleanup and Cocktails. This is one of the signature events that draws in hundreds of volunteers 4 times a year to clean up our neighborhood. And actually, this Saturday is our next Cleanup and Cocktails right under this Hillcrest sign. We invite you to come join us and clean up, beautify our neighborhood, but besides that, to build community. And afterwards, like the name says, have a cocktail or two at Urban Moe's. And last year's event in August is when we found some of those hate symbols that are being mentioned. And I was so proud of our community that they decided to stand up. They took pictures, we reported it with our LGBT liaisons, and they scrubbed the hell out of those hate signs because hate does not belong in Hillcrest. So like I said, this Saturday we invite you, the media, to come see what a community looks like. Now more than ever, we need to stand together against all forms of hate, and hate does not belong here in Hillcrest. Thank you to Ben from the Business Association for his support, for business owners like Ryan Bedrosian of Riches San Diego. It really, my success and the success of the account and these events are not possible without these folks of their shoulders that I stand on. So thank you, and once again, Ben.
Thank you, Ricky.
Of course.
So I can tell you, picking up trash doesn't sound glamorous, but it is good for the soul. Cleaning up your neighborhood And cleaning up this neighborhood is good for the soul. So I encourage anyone who's watching to come out on Saturday. You don't have to have cocktails, but you can if you want. And help us out. Last time there were hundreds of people that showed up, and we expect the same. So we do have folks from the community. Ryan's here. Ryan is the board president of the Hillcrest Business Association and a business owner. Trent is here. Trent is a community member who runs our beautification committee at the HBA. So please, thanks for coming. If you have questions, I know that we're eager to do one-on-ones. Thanks a lot.
I did have a quick question.
You have a quick question? Yeah,
In regards
sure.
to the amount,
Uh-huh.
the 2,477, is that per individual or is it in total?
In total.
In total.
Thank you.
Any other general questions? Going once, going twice. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.